Good morning. It is Friday, April 27th, getting to the end of April here. This beginning of this year has flown by. Um, Today I wanted to jump in here and talk a little bit about a little more review on my AirPods here. Um, a little bit about battery life and audio quality and stuff like that. So let's first start with last time I recorded. I talked about my AirPods and I was talking about the recording quality and all of that. Um, you guys, that was my test for that, and I went home, I listened to it, I was like, wow, this is worse than with the earbuds. And so I did some research and found out that when you use the native recording app for iPhone, you do not, like the microphone, the earpods don't receive the audio for that. It's straight from the phone. So that's why the last one was even worse than with my earbuds. And I was really disappointed. And I found that out, like, oh, okay. Did a little more research and found out that with some third-party apps, you can you can um, you can use the AirPods. Okay, I'm just gonna call them earpods. I know it's wrong, but that's what I'm gonna call them because that's what I want to call them, whether I want to or not. Anyway, so my AirPods here, they this third-party app is called Movie Pro. I'm not sponsored by them. I just found it. It was $5.99 for the app. So I purchased it. I did a little bit of testing. In fact, before I did this, I did a little bit of testing with the window down and the air conditioning or the air conditioning going because yes, it is in my car. Me being who I am, it's air conditioning weather. So if I'm taking my first day of using the air conditioning, it's up to 69 today, I believe. It's supposed to get there at some point. So I tested it with the windows down, air conditioner on, and the audio quality was pretty good. So we'll see in this actual, full speed down the highway with I don't have the windows down, but I do have the air conditioning on still, um, and see how that turns out as far as audio quality is concerned, and see if it's better or worse now that I can get that audio through the AirPods. So there's that. And I guess I'll, discuss on my next one how this recording quality is. But battery life. Um, so you hear a lot of things on the internet about this or that. Again, by the way, I'm not sponsored by Apple because Apple doesn't sponsor anybody. I paid for these earpods, so just get that out there in case somebody's wondering. Um, so the battery life, it's always one of my biggest concerns. Excuse me. Oh. So battery life and then audio volume more than anything. Because I don't listen to I'm not a big music person, but I do a lot of podcasts and that sort of stuff, and right now, videos on YouTube, stuff like that. So the audio volume, I think I already discussed, is great, but I never really had put the battery to the test. So first thing, the case you put the AirPods in. The AirPods charge in the case even while they're in your pocket as long as the case has charge on it. So the case, I had plugged it in, charged it overnight on Saturday, and I went all day Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it was when I went to plug it in Wednesday night before bed, it was at 19%. So I could have went a little bit longer, I suppose, but I figured, okay, I'm needing the next day, so I went and charge them up. So, all day, Monday and Tuesday, the third day, at least 3.5 days, full 3.5 days before having to charge the case back up. So that's great. I can definitely live with that. Um, then the actual ear pod. So there was one day I was at work, so I had one in, listening to some music while I was doing some other stuff, and that was for about 2 hours. And then once I got done with work, I put both of them in, and that was another 3 hours. So one AirPod was in for a total of 5 hours before I went to bed, and the one died right before it was time for me to go to bed. So the one went a full 5 hours. I don't know if it uses more or less battery if I have them both in, opposed to one. So again, I don't know about that. One of these days, maybe I'll try that. Just have something playing consistently for until they both die. See how long that is. But also in that 5 hours, about half hour, 45 minutes of that, I was on the phone. So there was actually phone conversation in that. So that does affect, battery life too. But all in all, the one ear pod, 5 hours before it died. Some people are like, well, I want mine to go longer than that. But what I found out was, so that one went dead. It was about time for me to go to bed. I took it out, I put it in the case, and I finished up my getting ready for bed, all that stuff that you have to do. So about 15 minutes or so, I had just one ear pod in, listening to music while I was getting ready for bed. When I got done with that and was getting ready to crawl into bed, I put them both in the or I had the one in the charger. I opened up the lid, and you can put it up close to your phone, and it'll tell you what the battery level is in the case and in the ear pods themselves. So the ear pod in that 15 minutes, it was dead. In fact, it had completely died. It wasn't like I took it off before it died. It actually completely it beeped in my ear. 5 minutes later, it completely went off. So it's completely dead to completely 100% charged in that 15 minutes. So it could be that it was because there's only one in there that it went that quickly. But let's say if you put both of them in there, let's say it even triples that time. Um, Charging them completely up to full in 45 minutes, I can live with that. So if I listen to something consecutive for 5 hours, which me, that's not normal. That's not normally the way I go. But even let's say it is, I can always take a 15 to 30 to 45 minute break from my earpods, let them charge back up, and then put them back in. So, but me is rarely, besides like in the case like this, where I was at work, I get off work, my wife's going to bed, so I was doing my own thing anyway. But typically, I'm going to be taking them out and doing, putting them away, doing while I'm doing something else. So 5 hour consecutive is great for me. So I am very thrilled about the battery life of both the ear pods and the case. Um, so the only thing I really have left to review is the audio quality on this particular video, specifically with the high speed road volume and the air conditioner on. So we'll see how that goes. Since I'm probably gonna put this up to later today, me and my family are taking our son to the zoo tomorrow. We're driving to St. Louis from where we live here, about 2 hours away. So we're excited about that. Our son, he's like I said, he's 3.5. He loves the zoo. So what I'm planning on doing is actually doing some recording tomorrow. So hopefully, if that all works out well, you guys are gonna get a bonus hands-free episode with me and my family all at the zoo. So we're pretty excited about that. There may be some more extra editing that needs to be done with that one, so I'm not sure how quickly that one will go up, but that will be that. What else? I don't have a whole lot of things to say, outside of my review for the AirPods. Work's going great. Um, I'm officially in my new position, loving it. So right now, God's always good, but right now circumstances are also great, so can't complain about that. It's getting to the end of the month, and I spoke before about Dave Ramsey and his plan, and I'm a huge fan of his plan. I'm just not always the greatest at following it. So some other things in my life have gotten in line and organized and all that. So I'm going to try in the month of May to actually follow my budget. So I have a few more days before the end of the month. So I need to, in these next few days, sit down and go online and actually fill out my May budget and then actually keep track of it next month. So, honey, if you're listening to this, I need your help. Not so much making the budget. I'll do all that technical stuff. I know you don't enjoy that, but I'll do that. And but I'll need your help keeping track of it all. So I'll maybe speak on something on that at some point. Maybe even talk a little bit about his budget app. It's called Every Dollar. I mean, if you're familiar with it and you're using it, you probably love it. If you're not, go take a look at it. I may give a full discussion on that at some point. Because and one of David Ramsey's biggest things that he preaches is knowing where your money goes. Before it goes. Tell your money what to do instead of your money telling you what to do. So before the month even starts, plan it all out, decide where it's going to go, and then stick to that. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and we'll talk to you guys sometime next week. Take care now. Bye.